Good morning, guys. It's actually nearly afternoon. I'll do the time. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 11:44 and it's Wednesday today. I'm out later because I stayed in all morning watching the news with Mustafa. Yeah. Turning it to different channels to get different perspectives on everything. Because everything that is going on these programs is exactly that. Programming us to believe the way that they present the situation to us. And, a hot spot, how lovely. I'm in long trousers again, jeans. Yeah. And what I'm actually going to do is to go through Obama's speech and point out all the NLP techniques that are being used, or some people. Oh, do you see the dragonfly? Oh, wow. That was amazing. To show all the NLP techniques and other kind of body language techniques, to kind of present what is really being said. But I guess there's certain things that I could point out now. For example, before I do any NLP technique on anyone, I usually tell them 3 truths. 3 things that they know or believe to be true. Because once you've established that and you build rapport, which is all to do with your body language and how you present yourself, and you give 3 truths, then people, for one reason or another, are more likely to believe everything else that you say. Yes. So, sort of mentioning recorded, historical in inverted commas, truthful in inverted commas, proven in inverted commas events is a good way to do that, because people connect with it and believe it. So if I was to say something to you and I had proven recorded evidence, or so you believed, that I had been to Wales, I say refer back to the video I did that you may have watched on my adventures taking pictures with Levi in Wales, you would automatically say, yes, that's true. I watched that video. I remember that. So that goes down as a true event, and you're not lying to me. And once we believe that someone isn't lying to us, it actually knocks out our guard, our protective shield almost, to their lies, because we have been convinced that they are truthful beings. And then another thing that's done is authority. That's why a lot of the time when you go to a doctor's or a psychiatrist or, I don't know, beauty therapist, hello gorgeous, whatever it might be, you will see the authority of their certificates on the wall. Well, the fact is they've got a certificate on the wall doesn't actually mean that they have achieved what they say they've achieved, or even what level they've actually achieved it at. So all of these things kind of convince us, and the little voice inside that might be questioning or doubting to begin with becomes effectively gagged. because we say, well, no, they've never told me a lie. They've always been truthful. What did alarm me today? No, it didn't alarm me at all, really. But kind of pointing out things with my stuff and getting my stuff to kind of look at what was being said on one channel as opposed to what was being said on another channel. When the BBC, I went on to BBC TV, we had President Obama. We were listening to part of his speech, and the part of his speech that we were actually listening to was to do with 1,000 people being killed by Assad with these chemical weapons, mainly women and children, and about how we need to protect our own children in our own countries. And that was repeated on the BBC endlessly. Yep. So repetition is really, really important in convincing people. Wow. Walking on acorns. Woo. It's like those special slippers they used to sell ages ago that had all lumps and bumps in, and they were reflexology slippers that most people found they couldn't even bear to wear on their feet. And this is kind of like a similar experience. You suddenly feel an acorn squeezing between your big toe and next toe. The river's still dried up. Yeah. Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. Yes, repetition. See, I said it 3 times. Repetition actually cements things in our mind. That's why when I was at school, I don't know about anybody else, but when I was at school, we learnt our times table by repetition. And spellings by repetition, spelling tests. I'll always remember the how do you spell Mississippi, Mrs. I, Mrs. S, and and all that thing. I don't even remember it now, but that used to be one that was chanted out. And then the times table. Once 1 is 1, once 2 is 2, once 3 is 3. And you get that in your head. Even the alphabet. I'm one of those people that when I'm trying to look in a dictionary for something, say it's the letter L, I have to kind of think, right, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So the repetition of where it's placed in the alphabet, it doesn't actually come naturally. So things that are not natural or are incongruent with us, we learn through repetition. And that's also what happens with habits and addictions. Yes, indeed. So you'll often find that newscasts, it doesn't matter where they're from, which country they're from, or which political or humanitarian or viewpoint they're kind of giving you, it will be repeated again and again and again throughout the day. And if it's not repeated verbally, it will flash along the strap lines at the bottom and often have the words that they want you to focus on in a different colour so that your eyes are drawn to them straight away. Because we're drawn to difference, we actually seek out difference, because we know that sameness causes lots of problems. If I marry my brother, for example, just imagining that this scenario could happen, and we had children, the chances are that the children would be more likely to have specific genetic issues, shall we say. So it's all part of the human psyche, in fact in most animals, to seek out difference because we know that that is going to provide the most diverse and strong young. So it's a natural thing. So when they actually put these strap lines on, you just take a good look at them and see. RT is very proficient in the use of different colours in their strap lines. I haven't watched a lot of news for a long time, but over this past few days I've watched so much. And yeah, that was definitely noticeable with RT. Then we have Al Jazeera, which would appear to be Middle Eastern, but is in fact controlled by America. So Al Jazeera has changed so much in the past 5 years. In fact, I felt like I was watching a party political broadcast on behalf of Obama. And we need to be alert to these things. Now, the other thing is all to do with body language. Body language is how we communicate, and we do it instinctively. Like, if you are disgusted by something, you will find it incredibly difficult not to register that disgust in your body, especially your face. To others, you know, it will be just apparent that you are disgusted. Your body language alerts people. It's our first line of communication. Well, it isn't. I actually think telepathy is our first line of communication, but, you know, let's stick with what is the norm, so to speak. So body language is our first line of defence. When you're walking down a road and you see people coming towards you, you don't just walk together and just knock into each other. You know, you are developing a strategy as you walk along based on that person's body language. And in some cases, or even not, the body language backed up by a whole lot of programming and human profiling about what that person's wearing, and, you know, their colour, any kind of religious dogma that they may be wearing, but it's backed up by that. The first instance is kind of, you look at them and you look at their body language, and I know I have crossed over the road many times because the body language of somebody coming towards me in the opposite direction has told me cross over. And sometimes it just happens without you even realising it. You know, you might be listening to something on earphones, or, I don't know, texting somebody. I don't do that as I walk down the road, but I notice lots of people who do. And they still just give a little glance up, and in that little glance they might do a little glance and then a second glance, and then the decision is made, and they might cross over, still listening to their music, unaware that they've actually been making those decisions. Because we keep our robot, this programmed part of us, so to the fore that we almost forget the unknown even to us as we perform all these tasks in a day. Like, I'm walking around with the video camera, my feet are instinctively, without me looking, going to places where they're not going to get harmed. You know, my ears are listening out for where my dogs are. My food from breakfast is digesting in my stomach. Brain cells are dying and others are being born. You know, my eyes are taking in billions and billions of different images. How many leaves are here? Now, my eyes have taken in every single one, but it all has to be filtered. It all has to be filtered, unless that information is something I am really focusing my attention on right now. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, how many leaves am I looking at? Who knows? However, it has been known, if you put somebody under hypnosis, they will recall astonishing facts. And because we take in everything that we see with these eyes. So, you know, how am I doing all of that? Do you understand what I'm saying? So much happens on an instinctive level we've almost forgotten that we are in fact instinctive animals, instinctive beings. Addictions and habits. We build up an addiction very, very quickly because we believe that we've got an addiction to something. I need it, I need it, I need it, I need it. And of course you don't actually need it at all. But we build up an addiction really, really quickly to things. And a lot of the time, guys, it's out of absolute boredom. You know what I mean? Or lack of purpose, and it's, yeah, I take this and it's okay. And, you know, I smoke weed. I don't have an addiction to weed. I can go long periods of time without weed. I enjoy it and it relaxes me. But I don't know anybody who's got an addiction to weed. I don't even know if addictions exist. I think they're actually something that we are told exists, and it's told with authority. And after we've been told some other things, like, you know, 3 honest things that we know are true. So the doctor may say something like, you know, you've been smoking weed now for 3 years, is it? Yes. And you've come here to see me today because you acknowledge that you have this addiction? Yes. Right, well, I am actually a specialist, as you can see, in addictions. And it is, you know, do what I say and you'll no longer be addicted. But here's your addicted label, so wear it, believe it, because I've told you 3 truths. Now, I know that's all a bit basic. But I hope you get what I'm saying, guys. Anyway, an angel, how lovely. Peace, peace, peace. Peace is where it's at. And I did deliberate yesterday whether to put up my other videos. I'm not putting up the one that I did first of all, where I had a bit of a rant. Because I'm just not. I just think, you know, people are doing what they believe is right. I'm doing what I believe is right. Who's to say I'm right? Do you know what I mean? These are just my thoughts and my kind of ideas based on the knowledge I have in a specific area. And that's the other thing that I wanted to say. You know, I am aware of everything that is being reported by the YouTube community. I understand about chemtrails, I understand about geoengineering, GMO food. I understand about people held indefinitely without trial, without recourse to any kind of human rights at all. I understand about the banksters, the vaccinations. I understand about the water, the plastics, the toxins, the dioxins, the pesticides, the insecticides. I do. And there's a lot of people on here who do a really good job of exposing the truth. One of those I shall mention is JSB007, who does some fantastic stuff with UFOs and his night vision camera. And I suppose I'm in a different kind of position, but I'm still I'm a facet of that community. I am just now I don't have a night vision camera. I don't grow crops as such. I'm just targeting what I say really into an area that I have spent a number of years researching and studying. So it's NLP. That's all I'm going to say, because I really do want to go through his speech and also have a look and see if any other NLP experts have done the same. Not that I'm implying I'm an expert, but there are others who are. And see what we can pull together. and then I'll just present that to you. So I don't know how long it would take me to do that. Might take a while, but yeah, just trying to give people an idea of things to look out for. All right then, sometimes they're less obvious than chemtrails in the sky and mice with tumours and things like that. Do you understand? I know you do. Right, so I'm going to go now. Keep looking up, guys, and remember to enjoy life, live it. It's exactly why we are here. And keep focusing on peace. Peace, peace, peace. And if you want to, join the other thousands of people who are just going about their daily lives, but in their daily lives they are taking moments where they just focus their heart on peace and send it out to these areas that are in the middle of a tug of war. Peace, 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 peace. Right, so from Honey and Ebby, we're down there, and my feet, it's goodbye. Yes, long trousers again, and acorns on the floor. Hasn't this year passed quickly? It has indeed. I love you all, and yeah, peace, peace, peace.